So as Anna Hazare finally gets his way, has the government been reduced to a lame duck as it does so many turnarounds in the course of this week? Well, joining me on the show tonight, we're joined by Mr. Prashant Bhushan, who's a close aide of Anna Hazare and a member of Team Anna. We're joined by Dr. Abhishek Singhvi, the national spokesperson of the Congress Party, Nirmala Sitharaman, the national spokesperson of the BJP. We're joined by senior journalist Kumar Ketkar from Mumbai, and also by Swapan Dasgupta here in Delhi. Let me ask Mr. Abhishek Singhvi first, that has the government, you feel, well, of course you won't agree with that, but hasn't the government been so badly damaged in the course of this week? There has been one turnaround after another. Initially, authorities weren't willing to give Anna Hazare more than 3 days to fast. You felt that he would disturb the peace. And now, he's got much more time to go on his fast. So there have been a series of turnarounds, and it appears that the government has completely caved in.
Well, Nidhi, if you look at merely the change in decision making, yes, you could blame the government that there have been changes in decision making and the decisions taken. But so what? I think ultimately it is the larger object of what impels the government, and those impulsions are largely compassionate. They are intended to not to hurt or harass anybody, but to see, among other things, that A, his health does not suffer too much. I mean, today also an agreement which we have has large elements of health into it. Earlier we were under the impression it's an indefinite fast and unto death. Secondly, whatever action the police took, it took great care not to hurt anyone. We did not want people to think, this is after the arrest, that there is anything in this government which is against free protest, and therefore a political decision was taken at the second round that yes, he should be released. If he thinks that we are throttling his dissent, if the team thinks that after 3 months of coming on every television camera, voicing every dissent in view, merely holding a meeting is being throttled, well then, I think they're welcome to have a demonstration. Some reasonable restrictions are imposed on that too, mostly I think concern for his health. Now the earlier decision was a decision by the local authorities whose perception of problems was that may be wrong. Nobody challenged it in court. By the evening, the government took a political decision to give him more enlarged, more liberal rights. But please note 3 things very quickly, and I'll end, Nidhi. One, even in the first round, every care was taken by the police not to be harsh, not to hurt, not to hit out. Second, some of those conditions, even by the police, were intended, according to their understanding, to maintain peace and calm, and particularly health. What has now happened is that those same conditions have been enlarged, but the concern for the health and the concern that there should not be any provocative atmospherics around it has been maintained.
It's rather touching, the Congress's concern for Anna Hazare's health today. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist saying that. But Mr. Prashant Bhushan, I wanted to ask you...
It is there from... 1 minute, Nidhi, let me tell you. Howsoever you might have heard, you might have heard all comments. But let me make one thing clear. From day one, the concern also that a 75 or 73-year-old man who's fasting, in the original conditions also, medical checkup, etc., in these conditions now also, is an issue. Suppose, God forbid, something untoward happens to Anna,
I believe you,
and
absolutely.
around it an atmosphere of provocation is created.
No, absolutely.
That is a police concern. That is a political concern also. And I think it would be very callous for even any member of Team Anna to suggest otherwise,
Okay, Mr. Bhushan, what happens after these 2 weeks are up? I mean, obviously, what we've seen is that both sides have worked hard to hammer out this compromise today. What happens after the 2-week fast is over?
Well, it depends upon what the situation is. If the government agrees to bring a bill, withdraw this bill and agrees to bring a bill in Parliament which incorporates the main principles of the Jan Lokpal bill, then the fast will be over, this protest will be over. But if the government still does not do it and the 2 weeks are up, then we will have to review the situation, whether we need to extend this protest any further or not.
But I think, Mr. Bhushan, even you know and I know that it's very unlikely that the government will completely concede to what you want. So I just wanted to look at a couple of scenarios tonight as we look ahead rather than look back. One would be that, what if they concede and they say that let's bring the Prime Minister's post under the Lokpal bill? Would that go at least some way in addressing the concerns that you have? I know you have a number of concerns. It's not just about the Prime Minister's post, but as a compromise, would you say that that's a forward step?
No, that would be a forward step, but that would certainly not be enough. There are just too many issues with the present bill of the government. In fact, I have been saying that it should be called the Promotion of Corruption Bill, and therefore we are saying that this bill must be withdrawn lock, stock and barrel, and a fresh bill incorporating the main principles of the Jan Lokpal bill should be introduced. If the government has any doubt about whether such a bill has public support in this country, they can hold a referendum to decide on all these issues, not just the issues between our bill and the government's bill, but also the issues between our bill and the NCPRI bill, between the government's bill and the NCPRI bill. All the options, all the serious options can be placed before the people, and the people can be asked to decide.
NDTV's Cricket app, Android and iPhone, fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.